Bradley, the curtain has come down on a disastrous season, bro. Disgusting season. We didn't finish 17th. Didn't finish 16th. Managed to get over 40 points.
Yay!
Managed to get over, and we won a game.
Yay!
But no, I mean, even the game, it's like, what's your thoughts now the season's done? That's the easiest thing to ask you.
Today, it was actually a good performance, but it actually wound me up because I was thinking to myself, and we were both thinking it, why on earth could they not have done that in a European final? The game that it actually mattered on Wednesday night. We went to Bilbao. I flew to Barcelona. Went from Barcelona to Bilbao. You flew to Prague. Went from Prague to Madrid to Bilbao. And they perform like that. And then they win today. I just think it's an absolute disgrace. I just think it shows that the players are arseholes, if I'm being completely honest with you. And Ruben's going to stay. I don't want him to be here, but there's no point slagging him off because he's going to stay. So let's just see what happens next season, and we'll go from there.
What I know this is a crazy, like a broad question, but what needs to happen? Where do you start? It looks, obviously we know Mateus Cunha's coming into the club. Onana out the squad. Didn't play today. Reports from Fabrizio Romano that Onana could be out. Garnacho not involved today. We know that's pretty much, that story's over. That chapter's ship has sailed. What needs to happen? Outgoings. We saw obviously Christian Eriksen, Victor Lindelof, Johnny Evans. They're on the way out the football club. What needs to happen in the summer?
We need to buy from within, and I know it might cost a bit more, might be a bit more expensive. However, Man United always pay a premium price, and I think a mistake we've always made, and I think Roy Keane talked about it, is that we've not got proven players in this team, and I think we need to go. Honestly, I would not complain if we bought every single player from within the Premier League.
Right, when you say within, you mean from the league, yeah.
Yeah, and I think I look at players like Cunha, players like Mbuemo, players like Mateta. I know people are going to be like, Mateta at Crystal Palace, why would Man United look at him? Let's not be disrespectful to Crystal Palace, because they
better than us.
100%. But I see people like mocking people winning Mateta, but like, we bought Edwin van der Sar from Fulham. I'm not going to say that. Or we bought Andy Cole from Aston Villa, wasn't it? And
Newcastle.
He played for Aston Villa as well, didn't he? Andy Cole.
No.
Who played for?
Dwight York.
Dwight York.
Yeah.
So we bought him from Villa. So Premier League proven players, and also they come from these clubs that are not winning. So those are the sort of players I'd bring in. I'd look at a Mateta, I'd look at an Mbuemo, look at a Cunha. I do like Adam Wharton and Baleba, but they're going to be expensive.
These are, yeah, exactly. And these teams aren't going to give up these players. You got to think of the money, Brad. So like, obviously, you can identify players that we need, and those players. League.
100%.
Do you know what I mean? Crystal Palace are in the Europa League. Adam Wharton's playing in the Europa League. Yeah. Mateta is playing in the Europa League. Now, the allure of Man United, yes, the badge, the crest, the money, but we also have to understand, even like Liam Delap, that's not a certainty. No. Chelsea are looking at him, Forest are looking at him, Newcastle are looking at him, we're looking at him. It's very difficult to get players.
And also, I would like to talk about that Europa final, because I think that was an absolute disgrace. And the thing I didn't like about it is that Ruben Amorim and these players just wrote off the league completely. And then they go and put in a performance like that in a European final. Those players were a disgrace. I mean, Onana in goal, disgusting. Luke Shaw at the back, disgusting. Why was he playing? Bruno, everyone loves, but he was disgusting. Mason Mount, disgusting.
Everyone apart from Yoro and Dorgu that night.
Those players in particular were a disgrace. And then Ruben Amorim makes his first changes in the 70th minute of a football match. Is he having a laugh? Like, Tottenham in the Europa League have sat back. I said before the game, I said to my dad, Tottenham are going to sit back. And at half-time, my dad never gets animated. I'm usually the animated one, right? And at half-time, we're calling for changes. And all the way through the second half, they're like, make a change. And he makes it in the 70th minute. It takes 20 minutes to acclimatise to a game. Just wasted 25 minutes. You wasted the whole half because it's 90 minutes. And then you bring on Kobe, and then you bring on Dallo, a defender for a defender. And I don't understand. I get he plays his 3-4-3, but 3-4-3 ain't a system. It's a formation. I don't understand why he keeps them playing 5 defenders for 97 minutes. It's stupidity at times. And but let's see. He's going to stay, so it's what it is.
Yeah, I see what you mean. And just with him, I know you said, listen, for you, you know, you don't particularly want Ruben to stay, but he is staying. Is there anything where you think it could improve under him and maybe actually you could be proved wrong?
I hope I get proved wrong. I'd love... I mean, I go to games for a reason. I love the club. I mean, I went out to Bilbao. If I didn't love Man United, I wouldn't go out to the European final. I wouldn't go to the games every week. So I absolutely love the club, and I want Man United to do the very best because I've got Man United's best interests at heart. I just don't think he's good enough. But of course, if you bring in better players, it's going to look better. But that's like common sense.
Yeah.
But for me, I just think I get the players are bad and the players, the mentality for these players is absolutely shocking. But 16th is unacceptable for me, just for me. And
15th.
15th, yeah, 15th. But even so, that's unacceptable.
Of course it is. Well, I'm just saying, mate, he's 14th when we got here. You know, when he got here.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. It was 14th with Eric, but it was 8. It was like, you know, because Rude took Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I think we were still 14th under Rude. When he actually had his first game against Ipswich, I think we were 14th. I think. It's small potatoes.
Either way, it's not good enough.
It's terrible. It's disgusting.
And yeah, I mean.
Do you think Bruno will stay? Do you see? I would say, I was going to ask you, do you worry? But I know your thoughts sort of on Bruno. Yeah, I'm not going to ask you that. But do you think he will stay? Or do you think if the right money comes in, you talk about raising money to fund this rebuild, that the players that you got, do you think Man United might look at that? Or Kobbie Mainoo, do you think he'll still be here and stuff like that?
I think there's more of a chance Kobbie goes over Bruno. I don't think Bruno's going to go because I think Ruben loves him. And Ruben's going to push for him to stay, so I think it undermines him. But he's been Man United's best player this season. I'm not his biggest fan, so it's a lot for me to say that. He's been our best player this season, but he's the best of a bad bunch. And also, for a lot of the season, I know it sounds bad because he's got so many goals and assists, but for a lot of it, he was poor. And obviously, people are going to disagree with that because as football fans, we're reactionary and we look in a short lens rather than a big lens in football.
Not a big lens. Since he's been here, though, he's been consistent. He's done the business. Himself.
But I think if we look back, and I think if we go from August all the way up to February, every single Man United fan was criticising him, and no one can deny that.
Of course.
And then also even last season, everyone was criticising him all the way from August up to April, and then the last couple of months played really well. So my thing is we're probably going to keep him, and then he'll play really bad for 6 months. I hope that doesn't happen, of course, because I love Man United. I've got Man United's best interest at heart. However, are we just going to keep changing minds from based on what happens? Yeah. But let's see.
Go again, mate. Do it all again.